Hi, my name is CocoBlackfilm.com, and I'm here with Tanisha Scott, choreographer extraordinaire. She's worked with artists such as Rihanna, Alicia Keys, Beyoncé, and she is the creative director and choreographer for Lizzo. We're here to talk about Tanisha's work on the Prime Video series, Watch Out for the Big Grrrls. Thank you so much for joining.
Of course, babe. Thank you for having me. This is exciting.
I'm so excited to talk with you. It's really interesting to speak to a choreographer. I speak to a lot of actors, sometimes some people behind the scenes, but the people that just sort of make it happen and make the visuals happen in the way that you do. I never get that opportunity. So this is exciting.
Oh, good. So I'm like popping your cherry then.
You are? I'm so excited.
Let's go, baby. I'm ready.
Let's go. So I understand that you have a Caribbean background.
Oh, yes, I do. A very rich one. Both my parents are from Jamaica. I was born and raised in Toronto, but my roots are so deep. It's kind of incredible, the fact that even though I was born in Toronto, I find myself in Jamaica and working with Jamaicans for the beginning of my career. That's what actually started my choreography career.
Yeah, with the Sean Paul video.
Yeah, and to go even further back, my father is an avid lover of music, all kinds of music. So on the side, he used to DJ. He still does. Like if I can send you like some video, actually I will, of this last Christmas of my dad on the ones and twos, just spinning, living his best life was the best part of it. So of our Christmas. But yeah, I started off just a freestyle dancer, just dancing in the home, and never expected this to become a career. So dance was everything for me. I just loved to do it. I was definitely the kid that, come on, it's a celebration. Everybody jump up on the table. Nope, make Tanisha jump up on the table and start to whine her face off. So that's where my love came from.
But how much of dance, like when I think about dancing, I mean, I had a brief stint in high school where I was on the drill team, which is like the pom-pom squad. So it was very like informed, kind of like I had to learn dance moves, but I'm not naturally a very fluid dancer or person. So how much of dance can be taught versus what's innate? Like how much of it can really, how can I, or would it be possible to become a Tanisha?
Okay, you know what? The funny thing is, again, I was not trained as a professional dancer. I was not, I never took any dance lessons at all. My parents had me in acting classes as well as music. My sister played the trombone. I played a little bit of the flute, or rather the recorder. I thought it was a flute back then. But of course, now I know what a flute is through working with Lizzo. But yeah, I wasn't actually trained. I was an athlete more so than anything else. But I'll tell you what, the way I see it with dance is like being like a runner. You have the Olympic level, you have people who just love for just the sport and exercise of it. And then you also have those who have to run when they're running across the street to catch something before it gets into traffic. Now, everybody can run. And because of that, I feel like everybody can dance. You may not be in a ballet scene. You may not do movies. You may not do it professionally, but we can all, when you hear music, get up and move. And because we can move, I feel like we can all dance. It's just what you do and how you do it. And because I came up as a freestyle dancer and was not taught, I'm able to work with people who aren't dancers to actually bring out the best that you have within yourself and to see how your body moves and to make movement and a story through that. And also because I think it's because of my culture, it's just things that are just innately within a person and a human. I'm able to see, adapt to, watch, learn, and then teach that. So I can basically teach back to you what I can see you do naturally and make it choreography. Because choreography, honestly, is just movement and pictures. So what is a picture in the story that we want to tell? And that's what it is.
It's so illustrative.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I did watch the entire show. I watched it just front to back. And I was, speaking to Marcus earlier. I mean, the show brought me like to literal tears. It was just such an emotional journey, and the beauty and the positivity that both you and Lizzo showed these women. You know, I would think of like when I was thinking about dance or just instruction, I was thinking it was more heavy-handed. But
Yes.
at no point in time, like you just were talking, you were just like, you're understanding the person and what makes them tick and what they can do and how they can move. I mean, even people with injuries are saying like, well, what feels good to you? You know, and how can you do this? Can you lay this way? Can you do this way? I mean, it just, the care and time you took in into making sure that these women were so comfortable. I mean, this is by far one of the most positive reality TV shows that I've ever seen. And I think if anyone has criticism for Lizzo, to watch this show, they will understand the type of woman that she is and they will completely do a 180. She's just a beautiful person, right?
It is so true. And I'm glad you said it like that. I haven't heard anybody say anything so beautiful and eloquent the way you just did. You are spot on.
I mean it.
Spot on.
And what's it like to work with someone who you know is just has such an excellent temperament? I mean, the care and the idea of sisterhood is just so important to her, and making sure that the family, it's a relationship. It's not so much so, hey, we're just clocking in and going to work. And to know that that team really fundamentally cares about each other and about themselves and wants to have like this personal health and wellness and mental health and all these things wrapped up in a bow.
Absolutely. It was quite refreshing. Of course, we have I've worked with numerous amount of people, and everyone is beautiful, and everybody has their own way of the way they work within their group, or, you know, just overall, it's a big, you know, people are people, but there's the special thing that you said about Lizzo is that first is sisterhood. That is the first thing. And we're absolutely here. And she drives this. Is we are here to uplift, educate, push, to endure, and to make everything possible. But of course, with hard work. So we're not here, like these ladies are wanting to get into an industry that they've never been really that accepted or able to, or find ways to able to be a part of. So the first thing we want to do is to let everybody know everybody deserves a chance. Everybody does. Everybody deserves a moment to be seen. So now let's open up the door. And once we get into that door, then we come in and we teach and we train. But then also it's not going to be that easy because the real world is out there. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a preparation of what is expected. So the health aspect is so important. Injuries, that could be the beginning or the ending of your career. Right? So you have to take care of your body. Then you also got to learn how to learn choreography in a short span of time, because with this entertainment industry, everything is hurry up and wait. So we have to turn over things very quickly. Time doesn't wait for us. And there's a billion of people out there across the world who dance, who want to have these opportunities. And it's so small, the group that is select that gets to have these opportunities. So when it's time, when you have that one shot, you have to show out. You completely do. So it's a learning curve, but it's also just, you know, you have to work with your brain and your mind and your heart, and just know that if you believe it, it absolutely can happen. And Lizzo is the perfect example of that in everything. As a rapper, how long she's been living in her car at one point, you know, how long it took her to get to where she is. Now she's like, I want to bring a bevy of women along the ride with me. And that's what it is. She's being completely selfless. I myself didn't know that I had a place in this industry. You know what I mean? I'm not a trained dancer, and to become a choreographer and then a creative director, that is unheard of. To
On that level,
to be able to work, to be able to work with the amount of people that I have worked with, that I still work with. Like, it's a round circle. It's not like I work with one person once and then that's it. No, I continuously work with everybody and every name that I've ever worked with. So that's a blessing in itself. And it's getting to different levels. So it's more than just now what I do with choreography. I've built the creative direction aspect of it, where now when you do, and you see these award shows, you're seeing something that I've mapped out and created in my head based off of the specific artists that I'm working with, from the lighting to the design of the set, to the content, to clothing for the dancers, to you name it. Just like the song, how much of the song are we doing? Where are we going to drop from? To the camera angles, how do we shoot this? What are we looking? What is the story? What is what is this song all about? And what are we trying to say here? So I take that responsibility so heavy because I just feel completely blessed, but it's just paying attention, listening and learning. And I think because I started off as a freestyle dancer, I've been able to tune into who I am and know how music makes me feel. And how music makes me feel, whatever the lyrics are, the song is for the artist, that's what I try to make come alive on stages.
How you speak about music and even just how it makes you feel. It sounds even just, it's like very spiritual even.
Oh my gosh, girls, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like I don't come into a room, I'm like, okay, this is what it's gonna look like, this is gonna do. It's a journey for me. Take time to sit with it, think about it, and then also know, is this on for TV, on is it a smaller stage? Is it for a movie? Is it for a commercial? Like everything has, you know, the way you see it after depends on what it is also that I'm going to do. So it's a lot of like technical aspects to it, but at the same time, it starts off from feeling and manifestation of what the vibration needs to reach the world. Like how am I supposed to receive this visually for somebody else who doesn't think like me or move like me? You know what I'm saying? So
no, I love talking to people like you. Like I always get something from the conversation beyond simply just having an interview or a conversation. It's like I'm gaining something, knowledge, and you know, this is great.
I love that.
I do want to ask you a question though about the show. Yes, Lizzo said her love for the dancers is what got them there, but your eye is what makes them stay. So what were you looking for?
Ooh, you
Lizzo
watched the show.
I did watch the show. And Lizzo put that on you. She was very specific about that.
Yes.
So what does that mean in y'all's world?
Okay, so Lizzo, she wears her heart on her sleeve and she cares and she loves these girls. She knows them all personally from just, you know, on the show, learning about them, talking to them individually. So she's gotten that rapport. I did not at the very beginning because I wanted to be objective, because my job as her creative director is to make sure that I have the best around her. So personality is absolutely important and key, but through personality, sometimes if someone is not like, say, the quickest learner or they're not the best dancer, but because I love them, you're gonna wanna keep them around. That would be the Lizzo aspect. And then that's where I come in and I'm like, no,
we gotta be
can't.
a little bit more
Objective. Do you know what I mean? Just for the visual stakes, because once it comes time for tour, things change. Things are moving. From when I may say that I want an elevator move, then all of a sudden the elevator is not gonna work. So then we gotta switch it up. And we have about 20 seconds for me to switch around transitions and then get somebody in. I'm like, I need you to freestyle, or I need you to reverse those counts. Like I need that quickness and sharpness so that no matter what, when she gets on that stage, everything feels normal and she gets the energy that she does. So I need a lot more on the technical side than what she will see when she's there for the love. Does that make sense?
That's totally fair. But it's interesting too, because one of the best takeaways that I got from the show, and I think a lot of people will, just in their own personal lives, like whether or not you're into dance or you're just looking at the aspects of just the relationships and the sisterhood, is that you can really be the most talented person in the room if you want to, right? Like you could be the best dancer, you know, and just amazing. But if you're not cooperative, then it really doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, and that's something that I learned from that show, that it's just sort of taught me something and made me think about the aspects like that. Like you got to think about how you appear to the world and how you present yourself.
Hands down. And that's the other flip of it too, because we've had amazing dancers who can do anything and everything. But personality wise, do I want to sit on a tour bus with this person? Is this person going to not make me feel good to be around them? Am I going to feel insecure on this person? Am I going to feel belittled? Like that is another aspect too. Everybody has to be a true representation and branch of Lizzo that's around. Do you know what I mean? So we have to protect ourselves mentally, physically, and emotionally. because going on tour is very difficult and you're basically living with strangers. So you have to develop a camaraderie and a love and a respect first and foremost with everybody. So if that's not gelling, oh no, mama, it's peace. We also can't have that.
Once again, this is Coco with BlackFilm.com, and everybody, that was a sneak peek into what it's like to live in the world of the fabulous Tanisha Scott, creative director and choreographer for Lizzo. Again, Lizzo's Watch Out for the Big Grrrls is on Prime Video streaming now. It is empowering, body positive, spiritually positive, and just so feel good. Until next time, guys. If you want to see more content like this on blackfilm.com, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell.